Hello and welcome to Live on Facebook at 8 p.m. And I hope you got to see the beginning. I have been telling you that this live is going to be getting bigger and better with Andrew. He's not only an author, he is my technical guru, and it looked fabulous. It really did. It looked phenomenal. I want to watch it again, but mostly I want to watch it because I want to see myself with the dark hair. I miss it. I like this. Don't get me wrong. But thank you, Andrew. thanks, thanks everybody for your nice comments, and I'm glad to have you tonight joining us live. Remember, it is Sunday, November the 25th, the 2024. How did this month go so fast? Unbelievable. And I will be live on here till 8:30 p.m. Oh, I can see Cynthia. I can see some comments I can't see. But what happens here is with the comments, I know you're out there and reminded me to say hi. I'm saying hi to you. And so is Kufu and Kafra. John's down the hall taking names for that tarot pool. So remember, if you want to have a chance to win the 3 spots in tonight's tarot pool, you have to put in the comments. Here we go. Melissa just did it. Card pool, please. That'll get your name in there. If you just say hi, it won't, because if you won within 3 weeks, you're ineligible, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So some people just don't put it out there. They'll watch the live, but they won't ask for the card pull. And I'm going to say hi for Andrew. I'm sure I'll have to come in here somewhere. We're going to be starting a wager every week is how I can screw up the technical issues of this Facebook Live. But he has all the confidence in the world. He's done a wonderful job. Remember, you can see this video, and I wish you would. I mean, watch us live now, but if you ever want to get into the healings later or whatever, repeat the healing, please go to my YouTube channel. He set that whole thing up, and that is Judy K Psychic Medium Official. All right. And you go in there, and if you could subscribe, that would be wonderful, because he's been doing work on the on the YouTube page. It's going to get bigger and bigger. So if you would do that, be phenomenal. So far tonight, I haven't made any, I haven't gone rogue as the thing was like last week. And his blood pressure seems to be doing pretty good, but I'm not worried about him, because don't anyone forget, Andrew's an author and he writes horror books. So he's up for anything I'm capable of doing here. I have a wonderful topic tonight waiting to hear. It is phenomenal. And actually, what is the topic tonight? I'm going to tell you now. We're going to get into the other things first. It's going to be about using a pendulum. Okay. So the pendulum here, this is one of my older pendulums. It's actually, I have to say, it's my favorite. Do I use the pendulum? Well, basically, I am the pendulum, so I don't need one, but I like to take it out and play with it sometimes. But I have a lot of good information for you about these. Okay. So remember, with the card pull, ask John for it. Spirit will help him pull the names out of a bowl when this is up. Okay. All right. Now, as our regular viewers know, and anybody that follows me on Facebook, we have people, the scammers, and they'll take my pictures and they'll change my name, like I am Judy K Psychic Medium. Okay. And they put an S and make it psychics a plural, whatever. And remember, I can't stop them from commenting or replying back to you. I have notified Facebook a million gazillion times. We're doing the best we can, but what you have to do, if they're bothering you, just block them. So remember, on Judy K Psychic Medium, what do we play? Whack-a-mole. And that's what I do. Sometimes on Monday with my lives, I will be whacking like 5 or 6 of them, and I haven't even had lunch yet. I mean, they'll just start. And I'm sorry about that. Am I going to stop my lives? No, but did I? Yeah, a few months ago I stopped my lives because it was so depressing on that, and I'm not going to let them get to me. So I'm going to continue the lives. You keep winning the tarot card pulls. Take the healing, and we're still going to go without them. But remember, whack them all on there. Now, let me see. So here we go on the second page here. So that was the trolls. and we're trying to make these better. Okay, the last expo of the year is coming up, and I can't believe it. We had a wonderful time in West Virginia, saw clients. I mean, is it a haul to get out there? It is, but I love that expo. The next one and the last one for 2024 is coming up December 14th and 15th. It's in Leesport, PA, and I'm in that area a lot with the Allentown Expo, the Leesport Expo, and a few other ones. But this will be the last one. I won't be back there until spring, I believe. Not in Leesport, but in that area. If you'd like to pre-book your reading, you can call or text me at 856-725-3588. You can private message me because we're on Facebook, or you can email me or get to me from my website, judyk.net. Okay? I cannot believe how fast it's coming. So let's see. Oh, remember I always said for your questions, because if I answer your questions here on the live, I get off subject because I'm reading and everything. So I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hi. And thank you for watching. Even though we are going up against the Eagles are going to be playing. They're playing right now. And you know we're close to Philly, the Eagles game and Yellowstone. So thank you, viewers, but you can always watch it later. All right. So what we're doing is I don't do world readings. Do I not do them? Yes, I do them. I don't like to do them and give the messages to the public. So you're welcome in the comments to ask anything metaphysical. If it's anything personal metaphysical, like somebody says, is my deceased loved one watching over me? That's a reading, okay? And I don't do readings on these because I'd have to get into my meditative state. And I want to teach you on these. I'd like to teach you on these lives because that's what I started them. Spirit told me to get the word out on some things. And that's why we're doing the pendulum, because a lot of people have misinformation. So I try to give you the right information. I've been doing this since I was a child and a young child. Did I have a pendulum when I was a young child? No, but maybe I should tell you about the rosary bead story. I'm writing that down. You're going to love that one. Rosary bead story. We're going to do that during the pendulum. Anyway, so if on the comments, don't ask me any, like, where is the world headed now? It was all the stuff between the election. I did not get into the election, as you all know. I didn't do that. My job here that Spirit has me is to make you feel comfortable. Oh my goodness, I see Jamie's Cowboys. Hello, hi. I don't know who the Eagles are playing tonight. So anyway, the whole thing is I don't. And I do believe I took the comment down because I can't have people going up behind it. Okay. So when Lauren, about the beads, I don't understand. Give me a little bit more about the beads. Are you talking about the beaded necklaces? Give me a little bit more on that. Or you actually private message me, or you can put in the comments and I'll do it from the written, which you did, but I just got to read that one. All right. So the whole thing, I don't do that. In the comments, you can ask for a certain subject matter. In that I keep a list of subject matters to do for the lives, and whichever one Spirit drives me to, that's why I do it that week. You can ask me about any kind of metaphysical thing, like you can say, and all right, let's go with tonight. Like one of the questions about the pendulum. How does the pendulum work? Is the pendulum an evil thing? How do I know it's not a bad energy moving the pendulum? These are almost the same questions people will use for an Ouija board too. Mm-hmm. Don't blame the Ouija board if you're already doing it with the pendulum. Okay. All right. So I think we can go farther. Now we can go on the subject. I'm so excited about this one. Sometimes I go through the list of subject matter and think, oh, what should we do this week? And I'm like, no. Sometimes it gets too heavy. If a subject's too heavy, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to do that where I have a couple lives back to back. And speaking of lives, I will be here next Sunday, which is the Sunday following Thanksgiving. I'll be here for that one. Okay. So right now, the only Sunday I probably won't be doing it live is not December 15th. Other than that, we're good to go. All right. All right. So let's go back to pendulums. Now, pendulums have been around for a long time. Sometimes people didn't use per se a pendulum with the chain, and this one is very nice. I purchased this one from a good friend of mine. Now, let's first thing, people. Let me get this out. And I'm going to get all set up here. All right. A lot of times people hold their pendulums incorrectly. What you have to do is hold the pendulum, but don't control the pendulum. Yeah. So you don't, yeah. And we're going to get to all that, Carmen. This is a perfect night for this subject. All right. Unless you have to watch Yellowstone or watch Eagles. I'm only kidding. I'm here whenever you just replay it. All right. So when you pick up your pendulum, notice that they always have something, usually at the end of the chain. All right. This is what this one has. Sometimes, and I like the ones with the little T-bar. I have one like that. I don't know where it is. I have so much metaphysical things. It would take a while to go through my house to find a lot of them, and really. So what I always do is I always use my right hand. Okay, so this is my right hand. Okay, so just remember, and you can do right or left. It doesn't matter. Some people like their left hand better. Does it matter if you choose your right hand over your left hand to this? Absolutely not. Whatever you're comfortable with. So what I do is, here's my right hand. I take it here and I throw this chain over. I'm going to show you. See how it's wrapped over my middle finger. Okay. All right. And I do it by the first knuckle or the first joint up here. All right. This is where I usually put it. So I have it here. I close this finger, these three fingers, so I don't drop the pendulum. That's just common sense. All right. Because the weight, of course, of the pendulum is going to pull this. So just close those fingers. Now I'm going to lift my arm up here. This might not have been the right outfit for me to wear tonight. Okay. I'm going to see if, okay. So, all right. So now it's working. You can see, notice how, here's my elbow. I'm going to go here. Notice, now it doesn't have to be this far, but I'm trying. Let me see if I can bring this down. This will help. This will help a lot. Okay. So you see how my elbow is not resting. I can do it resting on the desk here, but usually when I'm doing my pendulum, I'm going to free it up. Okay. So you see how my pendulum is moving now. All right. Now, what it's doing now, and I haven't asked a question or anything like that, just let it move for a while. And I'm sure some of you are probably running around doing your pendulums. Oh my gosh, somebody's doing it because this thing's starting to take off. Now, while you're doing this, and you can play this video back, and I think it might be a good thing, notice that I haven't moved my hand. Now, my hand, my arm here might move a little bit, but my God, I'm a living human being. It's going to move a little bit, but I am not going to boom, 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 boom. Now, that's wrong. Very bad. Very wrong. All right. So it's just, I'm going to make it a little shorter so we can get this in the screen a little bit. And it doesn't matter how it is, it'll still work for you. All right. Now, here's one. I'm going to let it down for a minute because that extra beat's making me crazy. But what I want to do is I want to show you something. Now, do I have these for sale in the office? No. Am I out of pendulums? Absolutely. I've been out of pendulums for about a year now. But the whole thing is, this is for you to enjoy. So I'm not trying to sell you anything here. I don't have the equipment. I might get them in, but I haven't been going. I was stocked up for a while, and I haven't been going to any of my wholesalers. Okay, so let's do this. Do you own a pendulum? There's one question. Do you want one? Did you ever think, if I had a pendulum, maybe I could answer this real quick for myself? They are nice to have in the house. Is it? Now, I've actually seen this, and I've seen this at the expos. At the expos, I've actually seen people walking around the expos, and they'll have their pendulum in their hand, and they will go in front of each table, whether, should I buy this here? Should I get this reading? Oh my goodness, little sucker is going all over the place. They're cute, but yet now, if Georgia, you got to wait and get the right one. Just don't get any of them. I'm going to talk about that in a minute too. The whole thing is that's a little much. Taking them to an expo and trying to see where the energy is. If you're, and I always told you this, and when I'm at an expo, and I cut Khufu and Khafre's head off, so I'm going to go back like this. So walking around the expo, and people will walk in the door or whatever, and they'll come to our table, and John will say, "Hey, how you doing?" Things like that, because you know how friendly John is. And the whole thing, they'll say, "Oh, we just got here. Maybe I want a reading." John will say, "No, walk around the whole place." And you'll know who you should have to read you. Remember, I said this a couple weeks ago. You have to realize that I want this person to read me and that person to read me. Always remember, it takes two to tango. So who is actually talking to your reader? You are, but so is your spirit guide, and so is your deceased loved one. They'll tell you who to go to. How you're not going to say, make her right at the next aisle. No, what's going to happen is you're just going to have a feeling for that person. So go back. That's your deceased loved one saying, "Oh, I want to talk through this person," or whatever. Okay, so go ahead and do that. So do you need a pendulum for that? No, you don't. Okay. You need pendulums for sometimes, you could say, everyday questions or problems. Now, here's the whole thing. How much can you trust the pendulum? Sometimes when people, like I get friends with, clients, and sometimes we'll chat or whatever. Remember that some days, if I'm not working, I am your neighbor, Judy. But when I'm in my meditative state and I can answer from spirit, then I'm psychic medium, Judy. So when is your pendulum psychic answer pendulum? When you really need it. So what I'm saying here is don't overuse it. All right. It would just don't, it's like, don't constantly ask questions. This is for when you need it. Is once a week okay? Yeah. Is twice a week okay? Is every day? No, make your own decisions. Okay. If you need professional help, I'm out there for you though. All right. So, now, again, remember I said about sometimes you have to feel if that's the right reader for you or the healer for you, et cetera, et cetera. When you get a pendulum, don't think, "Oh, I really feel drawn to that tiger's eye pendulum," or "I really feel drawn to the quartz crystal pendulum. But you know what? I need rose quartz in my life, so I'm going to get the rose quartz." No. Get a rose quartz crystal. Don't get it in your pendulum. So what you do is you find the one that wants to go home with you. Like I have crystals at the office and things. And when I had the pendulums in stock, I let the pendulum and the crystal decide, and the client, which one went home with you. It's the same thing. Is it like choosing a spouse? Yeah. Is it like choosing a best friend? Yes, because that's what it's going to turn into. All right. So be careful choosing them. And should you purchase one, there's no reason why you shouldn't have one. They're not scary. Some people feel scary about metaphysical equipment, and there's nothing scary here. It's a crystal on a chain. Don't be afraid of it. There's no evil connected with it. Now, how does it work? How it works is basically who is controlling the pendulum. All right. Now, now here's something. Was I controlling the pendulum? I'm going to do it again. Now, make your opinion here. Remember, I've wrapped the chain. I went the other way. All right. Who is controlling the pendulum right now? Nobody. Do you see my arm moving? Okay. I'm going to ask the pendulum to please say yes. Please say yes. Now you see how the pendulum started to move. Okay? Right. So it's going with yes. So am I controlling the pendulum? No. If I was swinging my hand up and raising the roof, yeah, it would be. All right. So what happens is you make an agreement prior to using the pendulum. Should you do this every time? If I were you at, your stage of doing these type things, yes, I would. It would be, You make an agreement. Now, how do you make an agreement? You just basically, you can telepathically, like say I want my father to control the pendulum for me. Now my father passed away a long time ago. I could say, come on, Dad, I need your advice. Can I please have your advice about this? Can you please do it? Now there's something I you know how you do things like, when you leave your house and you drive someplace and then somebody asks direction, you say, well, I know how to get there. I don't know how to tell you. The same thing. When you can remember how I said about the pendulum, I actually do this two different ways, and you can do whichever way you want. Remember the way I showed you? I wrap this around my middle finger, just like that. You can see the chain. And it's coming down between my middle finger and my index finger. I've also wrapped it the other way while I was doing this, and this works just as good. It's still wrapped around my middle finger, but I have the little bead here closer to me. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change your pendulum at all. It's, as I said, it's like leaving your house and going, to a relative's house that you go to all the time. You don't think about the turns, you just make them. It's still going to work exactly the same. All right. So say here I have my dad, and I will ask my dad, am I going to have a good day tomorrow? Okay, here we go. And he's saying yes. Now, this thing has said yes all night long, even before I came on here. And I make an agreement with it that this is my dad giving me the information. Now, everything has been yes, and that's why the answers have been yes. Here we go on here. Now, I've got this, and what used to irritate me is people would get pendulums, and sometimes they'd pick them up at an expo, or they'd get, in a store. And if somebody asked you this, I'm going to ask you right now. I don't want you to answer me verbally, but just with physical movement. I could ask you, have you had dinner yet? No, it's after 8 o'clock, so most of you did. So how would you tell me yes? You'd go like this. That's yes, right? Mm-hmm. Notice how my pendulum was saying yes, and it was going this way, which would be like our head saying yes. Now, I'm going to say, did you have tomorrow's breakfast yet? And of course, the answer is no. So this is no. So with your pendulum, if it goes like this, it's yes. If it goes like that, it's no. Now, they have been selling these for, I don't know, 10, 12 years more. I don't know. I have no idea. The older I get, the years get closer and closer. But they used to have pendulum mats. And I would be so upset because here's a pendulum mat. All right. And this is actually a nice one because it has horoscopes on it. It has numbers. It has days of the week. I mean, it has everything you could ask for. But notice how yes is yes and no is no. That is good. So remember that. Do you need a mat to use your pendulum? No, you don't. Not at all. You don't need a mat. But you do need to remember yes and no. Now, sometimes you might ask your pendulum a question and you don't word it properly. Like you could ask, am I going to get that time off at work that I wanted? Well, you might think I'm only talking about, and you didn't really say it or it's specified in the question, that you were thinking about the time off you wanted next month. But actually, in the back of your mind, you're thinking about 2 months from now getting another time off. So, what your pendulum might do on that is I'm going to have, you know what, to get these answers and get my point across, I'm going to fake the pendulum. So this is a fake answer. The pendulum is going to do this. I could keep asking questions to get the pendulum to do this, but I want to cut to the chase. Okay. All right. So you have this circle, and sometimes they don't circle that big and that fast. What it means is I'm a little confused. Reword the question. So remember, write this down. Circles are what? Reword it. Restructure your question. Make it more specific. Yes and no. All right. That's all we're going to work with tonight. Okay, because I think that's enough for you to work with. Now, well, I'm going to tell you the rosary bead story. Now, yeah, I was born and raised in a Catholic home. Not too Catholic. My dad was Lutheran. But the whole thing is, I went to Catholic school and things like that. And sometimes when I do the readings, yeah, am I close to God? Yes, I am close to God. Um, it's what I do. It's who gave me my gift. If you notice on almost everything of advertisement for me, I have God-given gift from birth. I also will say, I am the ventriloquist dummy. Judy's not giving you the answer. I'm repeating the answer that I'm getting from the other side. Okay. All right. Spirit guides are from the other side, and they are angelic realm. All right. So you see where I'm coming from. So there's been times when, like my mother always had her rosary beads in her handbag. Now, wait a minute. I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I do believe in all religions. I will totally believe that we're all going to be singing Kumbaya at the end. One time, and I told you this before, I was in Manhattan and I was doing a big lecture at one of the big hotels. And I had a lecture that was supposed to be on something else. Walking to the lecture room, Spirit said, back up. You're lecturing on, you're born in a religion for a purpose. So remember, whatever religion you're born in, that's wonderful. Okay. But I'm telling you my background because that's my background. All right. So my mother always kept her rosary beads in her handbag. So number of times over the years, I'll put stuff on my reading table, and I had my 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 rosary beads. And usually they're in a pouch. I don't have them out, but sometimes I'll have them because I do pray before I do readings. But anyway, so one day I'm talking to this client, and and Spirit saying, have her use a pendulum because this is going on and this is changing all the time. So okay, so all right, okay, all right, I'll do that. And I'm like, I didn't bring my pendulum today. I didn't bring my pendulum. A lot of times it's not in my handbag. I don't need it. It's a fun tool. It is. It's fun for me. So anyway, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I got to show her how to do this. And Judy grabbed the rosary beads. And at the Mum Expo at Allentown, PA, at my table, I had, unfortunately, Jesus on the crucifix right here, and I was showing her how to do the pendulum with that. I do not recommend anyone doing it with your rosary beads. That was very bad of me. Bad Judy, bad Judy. But she learned. I got my point across, and there's your funny story for tonight. All right. Well, I think that's it, and I think it's time for the card pull. I did see some things. Yeah, I think I will try to do the pendulum because that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to try to look for some of these too because I do like this mat. It's out of all the mats I said I've seen, this one is the only one basically I respect. I have to say, tell you the truth, and I'm good at telling you the truth. All right, so let's get the cards. I will get my card pool. Let me see. I got to find the phones. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see who won the card pool tonight. Don't forget, we're doing the healing after that. Oh, my goodness. Since this last, we had the last iPhone upgrade has gotten crazy. Okay. We have, oh my God, Lauren, you're on here. Lauren Ifu. She's the one that always laughs at me for the crazy stuff I do. Melissa Frederick. Now remember, you got to be on here to and Cynthia DePetri. Okay, Cynthia. Okay, now you were the three winners tonight. Let me read them off again: Lauren Efau, Melissa Frederick, and Cynthia DePetra. I got to put an A on here. I write so fast I can't read my writing sometimes. Now, if you're still on here, let us know what if you want general, romance, career, finances. Let me know. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I can't do it, Honey Bunch, because the three people have been picked. Only three people get. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Tell. Okay. Somehow or other, I lost my comments to the right of me. So, if somebody could tell me I got Lauren, what do you want? Melissa Frederick and Cynthia DePietra. Yeah. Okay, Melissa wants general. Okay, Lauren and Cynthia. Let Cynthia, oh, wait a minute. Cynthia said thanks. Okay, but sweetheart, do you want general finances, romance? What would you like, sweetheart? You can do health, general. Okay. And Lauren, EFAL, are you still on here? Let's see. Yeah, I got general for Melissa, general for Cynthia. Thanks, Carmen. Hi. Hey, Takia. Um, let's see. Yeah, I got that. I need Lauren Efal. Is she still on here? Okay, well, look, I'm going to get started. And if she comes on, let me know. Okay. She teases me because she'll private message me and joke to me about about I go rogue on Andrew and stuff. All right. You know what I'm thinking here? Mr. Andrew, you have never requested a tarot card pull. Have you? And your name hasn't been picked? All right, maybe he'll start. All right. Well, I don't see if Andrew, if you could look to see if Lauren did anything with that. Yeah, because I don't have them on this side, but we'll worry about that another week. Okay, so let me go. I'm sure Cynthia and Melissa would like me to get started, and we're both doing general. Okay, hold on for a second. I'll be right with you. Cynthia, these are your cards. Okay. All right, the first thing I have for you is the Six of Swords, followed by the Seven of Cups, followed by the Ace of Wands, and that's very good cards, honey. This is for you, Cynthia. I picked these cards with you in mind. Okay, which Cynthia, you've been going through some things. Now, this is the past, maybe recent past or whatever, but you've got yourself through, or you've left something. Sometimes when the Six of Swords usually means, you know what, I'm going to go for new waters. I'm just going to change the way I work it. So that's what you've already done. But what you've really done here is also socialize very well, Cynthia. Okay. So, and that's very good. You've socialized, you've put different things around you, you're happier, you're getting out, you're doing good. And here is the good one. It is the Ace of Wands. Now, how can a cow look good? She can when she has this card. It's the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, Cynthia, is new beginnings. All right, new beginnings. Things are really going to start adding up for you. So for right now, I'd be smiling this evening. That was really good. All right, so now I'm going to do Melissa Frederick. All right, Melissa. Okay, this said to you, have a good time, but put a little bit of space. So this is what you've been doing. Very nice, but put a little space there. Enjoy other people, put a little bit of space. It does not mean ignore them or don't talk to them. It just says, I am me. All right. So that's the first card you got. But they continue with all this. I'm going to say socialization. It doesn't have to be being a socialite at a party. But what they're telling you here is continue to put yourself out there. But it's saying that you know the truth. So what it has at the end, you have the Hangman. Now the Hangman is actually a card that a lot of people will use. Okay. It's not really a hangman, don't get me wrong. What it is, it's internal knowledge, which also could be, remember, I talk about gut feeling, which is actually psychic. So have all your friends and everything, and all your coworkers or whoever's around you, family members. Oh my God, we're going into Thanksgiving. Let's use family members. All right. But don't forget, is what the cards are telling you. Remember that a lot of times, sweetheart, you're in control, and use that, especially this week. I didn't think of that when I was pulling these cards. It's Thanksgiving. Have we ever heard from Lauren? Andrew, if you could let me know. No, okay, all right. Well, I'm going to say so anyway. If you're not on here, you don't get the card full, but she's eligible next week, and hopefully she'll come on. She's a real sweetheart. All right. Well, everybody here's a real sweetheart. She just gets on me, her and Jen Sanchez and Carmen about all my hammocks. All right. So we're going to do the healing. Remember, if you want to take part in the healing, palms are up and open. If you want to just watch because you're not ready for that yet, you can do that. Put your palms down and it won't. Oh, you're welcome. You won't feel that. Okay. You won't get that. But, you have to be comfortable to be for the healing. So I'll find people just, sitting here. Oh, Lisa, I'm sorry. You have to put your name in when it starts at 8 o'clock, like 8:15. You have to have your name in. All right. It gets pulled later, but that's the time. So you can try next week. All right. So what happens here, if you want the healing, palms up, remember if you don't, and it's fine. It is good to accept the healing with your eyes closed. Why? Because when you close your eyes, you're basically not thinking, oh my gosh, I should dust over there. All right. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start it now. I do a general healing unless spirit tells me they want me to go towards someone. And when they tell me to go towards someone in particular, I do have to listen. I don't have my own, I can't use what I want to do. As I said, I'm basically the ventriloquist dummy to the other side, which is good. And I like being the ventriloquist dummy from the other side. All right. So here we go. Now, if you can sit up, that's great. If you can't, in fact, I'm going to drop this. Now, wait a minute. Kufu and Kafra don't want to be stopped there. So hands, put your arms in your lap on top of your thighs, hands up if you want to receive, hands down if you don't. And we're going to do this real quick. So a little bit of relaxed breathing. Just relax and everything and relax. And I hope you enjoyed your knowledge you received tonight. And the spirit's smiling, so that's good. All right, inhale for the nose and exhale through the mouth. And inhale through the nose and exhale. Very nice. Okay, you just relax and I'll do all the work. Spirit guide says that they're showing me someone that's having trouble walking. I just think the problem is an overall problem from the hips down, and it's not walking just right. If they're walking, we're leaning over and everything. Spirit would like me to send a little extra to you right now. Okay. And they said they're trying to, okay. Okay. They tell you to continue the effort, and it will get easier. They said it might get harder, but it will get easier. So basically, I would say in the long run, this work that you're doing to improve your, okay, all right. They just hadn't showed me a vision. The work that you're doing and moving forward is doing you well. It's never going to be 100%, but it'll get better. Okay, and the pain will relieve. All right. So I'm going to regular send now. All right, and we're sending. As for Thanksgiving come up, we're going to give everyone happiness, patience, kindness, and a quiet defense. Because sometimes that's needed, a quiet defense. And Spirit sending now. Oh, so much. It's very powerful right now. Woo! All right. Okay. All right, and I'm backing off. And relax. Everybody take a big inhale and exhale. And that's it for tonight. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, a relaxed Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, John. Thank you. Wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way again. Kufra, Kafra. And as I told you, in a bit, Andrew and I are getting together and we're going to do some Egyptian, ancient Egyptian little talks on here or whatever. We haven't decided yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. All right. I hope you'll enjoy it. How many of you, come to think of it, remember Egypt or been drawn to it since childhood? Put that in our answers tonight. Okay. Thank you all. I really appreciate this. And so far, we haven't had any, any mistakes from me. And I'm going to ask Andrew a quick question. Are we having the intro play at the end or just in the beginning? Oh, we're going to see the intro again. I can't wait. I'm really excited. All right, everybody. See you next Sunday. You can now for a reading. In my office. I'm not working Thanksgiving and that weekend, but what you can do is you can call or text me at 856-725-3588 or go to my website, judyk.net. That's JUDYKAY.net. And also, don't forget, if you can, please, I mean, we're up to 70 subscribers. I'd like to add an extra 0 to that. So go to Judy K, Psychic Medium Official. Thank you, everybody, for everything. Thank you, guys. I couldn't do it without you. Okay, bye for now.